Problem number 1, we said use substitution. And the word substitution usually means blob. There's a blob in there. And if you remember, we're trying to turn this into a quadratic equation. So it's in descending powers. It's always the middle term that's the blob. So we're going to let t, or u, or whatever you choose, be equal to the square root of x. And if you square t, it's the square root of x squared, which is just x. So now that says wherever you have an x, you put a t squared. Wherever you have a square root of x, you put a t, so that what you have is a quadratic equation. So this guy factors. I'm going to give you things that factor. This is certainly 3t and t. The signs are the same. They're both minus. That means the inner outers have to add. I can't put the 2 over here because I'd end up with a 6. If I do the outer, that's already too big. Because my only choice here is 2 and 1. That means the 2 goes here, the 1 goes there. Now if I check the inner outers, minus 3, minus 2, minus 5. So this says that t equals 2/3. T equals positive 1. But we're not looking for t, we're looking for x. So t equals 2/3. T equals minus 1. T is the square root of x. T is the square root of x. It's not minus 1, it's plus 1. And so what do I need to do to solve for x? It's a square root, so what do? Square both sides. Square root of x squared is x, and then 2/3 squared is 4/9. So that's where the x equals 4/9 comes from. And now again, square both sides so that x equals 1. Any questions? Think when I say substitution, there's going to be a blob afoot. Blob afoot, blob's always going to be there. List the transformation. Of course, the basic function is y equals x squared. I go to the inside. This guy is a plus 1 because it's x minus 1. And plus 1 means what? Right 1. I'm done with the inside. I come to the outside. I've got a minus 2. That means I have 2 transformations. The minus is a reflect the x-axis, and the plus 2 is what? It's a vertical stretch. And then I look, I've got a plus 3 is up 3. What are the points of intersection? Intersection, that means what they have in common. Essentially, you're looking at where is f of x equal to, and you just state the x values, equal to g of x. Or where f of x, which is x squared plus 5x minus 3, equal to 2x squared plus 7x minus 27. Since the larger coefficient is on the right-hand side, I'm going to move everything from the right, 0 on the left. So if I subtract x squared, I get the 5x minus 3 equals x squared plus 7x minus 27. So I'm going to subtract 5x, and I'm going to add 3. I get 0 on the right, x squared plus 2x minus 24. Those would be the x values, essentially, once I find the solution to this, that the two functions have in common. Then I hope that factoring is afoot here, and it is. I wouldn't give. The only thing you have to really use the quadratic formula on is the complex number problem. Everything else will factor. So this is going to be x plus 6, x minus 4. So that x is negative 6, x is positive 4.